Giants fired head coach Brian Daboll today, becoming the second head coach to be fired in the 2025 season. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka will take over as the head coach on an interim basis. General manager Joe Schoen stays in New York. Ownership released a statement saying that Schoen will be leading the search for the team's next head coach. Daboll won 9 games in his first season in New York. They've won 11 games since, now fired midway through his 4th season. Commanders defensive lineman Deron Payne is appealing the 1-game suspension handed down to him by the NFL for punching Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown yesterday. Bengals opened up the 21-day practice window for quarterback Joe Burrow, who was limited today with a toe injury. Head coach Zach Taylor said Burrow won't play in Week 11 against the Steelers. Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton revealed he was diagnosed with testicular cancer. He had surgery on Friday, but hopes to return at some point this season. I'm Dan Beyer.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Yo.
We're like the pill, Rich. Everybody knows what the pill is. There's millions of pills. There's millions of shows. We're the show. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, broadcasting live. And if you miss any of the show, any of today's show, last week's show, you want to catch the podcast, search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcasts. After the show, podcast goes up. Danny G cuts it down, condensed version, best of. We even have a best of the week. So follow, rate, and review. Give us 5 stars. And we're streaming live on YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR. So if you want to see me in L.A., Rich, hop along, Texas, Dickie Davis, Covino and Rich FSR, we be rocking out. The hell is that you're wearing?
Well, I'm at Worst Fest the next couple of days. My wife is from New Braunfels, Texas, and it's a big beer and sausage festival. I was so inspired by that Falcons-Colts game in Germany that I'm like, I need to go to a beer and sausage festival.
Well, if there's a weenie fest or a sausage fest, Rich will be there in his lederhosen.
The Germans.
So it was actually Best Fest until Rich got there. Get it? Worst Fest? Let's introduce Danny G, super producer on the phones. What up, Danny G?
Happy Monday.
Looking handsome as always. He's the best in the game. He's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
How are you?
Is it Happy Monday? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. Is it ever happy?
Sam is so intrigued by this beer and sausage festival because he's very German. He's like, tell me more about it. He's like, how many sausages have you eaten so far? I'm like, dude, I'm going tonight. But yeah, it's quite a party, Covino. So
Rich has a mouthful like that famous gif of Olivia Munn from back in her G4 days. Remember that? When she has all the hot dogs in her mouth? Come on, there's 3 people that know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
But how is it, Rich? Did you already go or not yet?
Going tonight. Just saw some friends and family so far. My wife is from down here, so I figured I'd take a little trip down here and, still do the show. I'm not taking time off. I just watch football down here. I watch my Niners lose in a different state. That's all.
Oof, we'll talk about that.
Oof.
Spotty's on the videos. Dan Byer's hanging. We always appreciate Dan Byer. He has great insight and some updates for you. Hope you had a Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Rams sort of weekend, not a Rich's 49ers sort of weekend, not a Aaron Rodgers, Steelers, not a Brian Daboll sort of weekend.
Well, that's where I want to start. I think we jump right into this. Every Monday, we do things that make you go, hit it.
This is our Week 10 edition of things that made you go, Now, of course, most of our weekend revolved around, being a parent, making runs at Costco or the Depot, but lots of football. So any football observations you made, any observations you made in life, fighting, whatever it is that you did, There's no wrong answers. They're all welcome at 877-99 on Fox, but this is where we get you involved. Yeah. And you can also hit us up at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. I think you said it, Rich. The biggest story of the day and of the weekend is, man, how did the Giants blow that one? I wonder if Daboll's going to keep his job. Oh, I guess not. We found out today.
Oh, dude, 4 road games where they've had a 10-point lead or more. So I guess you have to do something, but there's a part of it that feels real crummy for Brian Daboll. Listen, I know you heard Dan Beyer say it. First season, they were 9-7-1, made the postseason, and then since 11-33, which is second worst to only the Titans. So I guess there needs to be consequences and punishments and repercussions. But don't you feel like he finally got Jackson Dart? He got Scatterboo. Malik Neighbors finally had someone to throw the ball. Like Daboll, I felt like he finally started to see his puzzle come together, and then it's like, you're out.
Such as life, man. Look, not to make it personal, but things like that happen. I don't know why or what the reasoning is. He had his opportunity. Like you said, this is his 4th road loss when leading by 10-plus points. It's not like they didn't have some spark and have some momentum this year. They did, and then a lot of injuries, so you can't blame him for that. But I guess you gotta make drastic changes, like you said. Cut the head of the snake if you want the team to move forward. Rich, when I moved out here to California, this is a personal story that ties in.
I was gonna say, did Brian Daboll, did he get Showaltered or Covino or both?
Exactly, because this not only happens in sports, this happens in life. Not to give up too much, but I was in a long-distance relationship, right? East Coast, West Coast, East Coast. Then I had a kid. Fast forward, I had a kid. But I was still living East Coast. Our job was East Coast. So I was traveling back and forth for years, guys, years, putting myself in debt, putting our career in jeopardy, traveling back and forth, trying to be a good dad, a present father, a good husband, and still be a good colleague and employee, back and forth for years. And then finally, we got the green light to move the show. We're moving the show from the East Coast to the West Coast, which means no more traveling, and I could finally be under one roof and have that family that I always wanted. And 6 months later, after I finally moved out here to California, we got a divorce. 6 months later.
I think.
That's the truth.
I think you could put a little bow on the conversation by really telling everyone that you got served divorce papers on Christmas Day.
I mean, they didn't need all that info, but I'm glad you gave it up for me, Blubber Lips Davis.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
But that's the true story. So what I'm trying to say is, yo, man, that's life. That's what the people say. That's life. This dude had his chance. It's not like he didn't. It just so happens that they got some really key components and things started to roll a little bit. And now he's got to go.
You could relate because of your story, but I thought you were going to bring up Buck Showalter. Now I know that it was a little bit different.
It's not just Buck; it was also Gene Stick Michael too, who built that team.
I mean, Gene Stick Michael and Buck Showalter, they sort of built the groundwork and you would say the base of that Yankees team that went on to win, the '96 World Series and then 3 in a row. But you look at it and who gets all the credit? Joe Torre and Brian Cashman. And they were just the recipients of here's a good template, go with it. And
no, you're absolutely right. And unfortunately, Don Mattingly never saw a trophy, never saw diddly squat. You know who did? All the people that came afterward, the Tino Martinez's of the world, right? And then years later, the Mark Teixeira's of the world. And it was Buck Showalter and Gene Stick Michael who built those franchises, built those teams. And that's what's going to happen here with the Giants. And
honestly, Covino?
You can only feel so bad. That's just how it works.
I get it, but I got to ask you, Danny G. What up, Dan Beyer? And Iowa Sam and Spotty. Miss you guys. Do you feel like this is the most inviting, sought-after position that'll be open for a while in the NFL? Meaning, you got Jackson Dart.
You have a star quarterback. You got some star players returning.
You're going to have some draft picks. You have money to spend. Is the Giants head coaching job, is that going to be the hot seat next year? Not the hot seat like someone's getting fired. Is that the position people want?
Not to mention it's New York, right? So why wouldn't it be a great job or a great opportunity for somebody, Dan?
I'll take the other side of the coin since you kind of asked the question. My skepticism involves Joe Shane sticking around as general manager. So how long do you stick with him? Because I think a lot of people felt that they would clean house. Shane and Daboll were a kind of a package deal when they ended up coming from Buffalo. So now you have a GM that seems to be on thin ice, at least with the fan base. And if you're a head coach and maybe some of the things go wrong next season, you start to hear those rumbles and a move is made with Shane. Now you're bringing in a new GM. I think it's still a little bit early to see on how it all plays out. That would be my skepticism of it.
Well, like I always said, football imitates life. It's essentially you got to the party, and all the hot chicks showed up, and then they left when you got there. That's really it. They left when you got there.
Rich, it wasn't that many weeks ago that you and Covino opened a show up on Monday by saying, the new dynamic duo in the NFL. And you were so excited, but there was a but to it, a big but. The health of these guys, because they both lead with their head, especially Cam Scadaboo.
Literally, they headbutt each other.
Yeah, in Jackson Dart, we saw him leave the game yesterday with a concussion. So that's going to play a big part in the Giants moving forward.
Yeah. Well, you saw what Dan Beyer said. Joe Shane stays, which is interesting because in Miami they did a similar thing, but they got rid of the GM but kept Mike McDaniel. So a lot of times what seems like a package deal, it's almost like you can't get rid of Covino and keep Rich. You can't keep Rich and get rid of Covino or vice versa. It's interesting how Joe Shane stays, Daboll goes. I just think that deep down inside he probably wishes, one more year, because you got that feeling before the Giants went on this little skid. Didn't you get that feeling, Covino, that maybe they'll make a little fun run? We were so wrong looking back now, but we thought that maybe they'd get hot and make it a little interesting.
The Giants, every year before the season starts, we do the picks for Fox Sports Radio. And the Out on the Limb pick for me, Out on the Limb, was the Giants were going to have a winning record. And I felt like there was a lot of excitement around this team, and I believed in some of these young players coming in and making a difference. But look, it's not that they're losing, Rich, right? This whole season, I keep saying there's no rhyme or reason for this 2025 season. It's how they lose, right? They're like heartbreakers. Gross. How did you lose like that? How did you let that one slip away? They should have had that game, but the Bears came back and win. So props to the Bears. They won 24-20. They scored 14 points to the Giants 3 in the fourth quarter. And it was barf. You guys had that game. So it's how they're losing, too, I think, is why Brian Daboll's out, just as the team starts to get exciting. So that's one of the biggest things that made us go, not because we're surprised, because it just happened and we have to speculate. But what else stood out to you and your thoughts on this? That's the biggest story of the day so far. 877-99 on Fox. That's our number, 877-99 on Fox. Again, Covino here in L.A. with the rest of the crew, and Hopalong Dickie Davis is in Texas for his Wiener Festival.
You know where it all went? It all went south when the Broncos beat them with that ridiculous comeback, because going into that game, I just looked it up, going into that game, they were 2-4. And that's when you started to see the Scadaboo Dart excitement. And we're like, oh my God, if they beat the Broncos, they'll be 3-4. And I remember you, me, Danny, everyone said the same thing. This could be a fun team that maybe they chase 500 and maybe they chase a wild card. And then after that demoralizing loss in Denver, 33-32, then they got crushed by the Eagles. They look lifeless against the Niners, and they lose another close one to the Bears yesterday. So 4 in a row, I don't want to speak out of both sides of my mouth, because I do think that Brian Daboll, he would have loved to have one more season to go at this next year.
No question.
But, dude, when you go 11-33, which is essentially the worst in football in that time span, what do we're not, jobs aren't charity. You're 11-13. You're 11-33 for a reason.
Well, it's also the NFL. It's a win now sort of league, and he's not winning now. And I think a lot of the excitement there was sucked out when Scadaboo went down for the season. But if you watched the end of that game yesterday, like Danny G mentioned, you had Jackson Dart on concussion protocol. He's out. Russell Wilson's in. Immediately taking big sacks, looking bad. They looked deflated right from the get-go once he got in the game. I was hoping for a heroic moment. All right, we're going to see Russell Wilson make some headlines again and make some noise. Nah, dude, not even close. So a lot of their success revolves around Dart and his excitement and the way he plays the game. Because once Russell Wilson was in there, it was done. They couldn't do anything after that anyway.
Let me ask you and Danny and
And I was
feel
rooting
free to
for
chime
him.
in. It is things that made you go, 877-99 on Fox. Has there ever been a star player that the end of their career really made you rethink their whole career? Like Russell Wilson, when you see him now, he's had a couple flashes of brilliance here and there, like sparingly. But is there ever been another guy that you could think of that really made you second guess, was he ever really that good? Because I feel that way about Russell Wilson every time I see him now.
It's so tough to say. He's hard to define, too, because it's like, did he lose a step? Like, obviously he did. But it's like, what is it, man? Because
Like
he really
Dan Byer,
was
like,
so good. He almost
Dan,
won two.
Dan's a Seattle fan, so he would have the greatest insight. You do wonder, like, how much of that team was the Legion of Boom carrying them, and was Russ just, like, more honed and in his prime and just not making mistakes? Like,
Think about how his former teammates talk about him, too, though. I'm sure there's some truth to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that he probably doesn't he gets too much credit for their Super Bowl wins or for their Super Bowl win and their Super Bowl appearances.
Should have been wins.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Should have been, yeah.
But then he had a couple of really good seasons after those Super Bowl appearances, but not like the Hall of Fame career that people were putting in. There's no doubt, even with Matt Hasselbeck and my guy Dave Craig, that Wilson's the best quarterback the Seahawks have ever had. Like there was the one year where I think he accounted for every touchdown they had, either throwing or running, except one or two. Like he did have a couple of great seasons, but yeah, I always feel that we were slightly off in looking at what Russell Wilson actually was as a quarterback, maybe not giving him as much appreciation, or at times hyping him up too much as a quarterback.
The reason I bring that up is, I'm interested in what the Giants are doing, so I'm watching, and I am rooting for Russell Wilson to do well. He gets in there, and you're thinking, Rich, if he is able to save this game somehow and win this for the Giants, he might have saved Daboll's job, maybe at least for a week. If they won, maybe. Daboll, I just looked it up too, though, because I wasn't sure. It's his fourth season. He's 50 years old. He'll have some sort of opportunity. I doubt it's a head coaching job anywhere, but he'll have opportunity. He's a young guy. He's fired as of today. That's the big story. Your thoughts? We'll take your phone calls. Plus, I want to talk about Trump in the broadcast booth. There's lots of things that made me go,
Of course. Can I give you one more quickie to wrap up the Daboll, and then we'll get to all your feedback?
Yeah, sure.
I was saying, dare I say, can I schedule watch just for 1 second? I know you love when I take a peek ahead. Oh, boy.
The Rich loves to look at the schedule game.
Schedule watching. Yeah. So it's not like it's going to get easier for the Giants. DB, Covino, Danny G, if you guys look ahead, they play the Packers next week. Then they play the Lions. And then the Patriots, who are looking like, a master class of offense and defense. So you tell me they were going to beat the Packers, Lions, or Patriots, you could almost chalk up 3 more L's. They'll be 2-11 instead of 2-8. So, do you really think it would have got better had Daboll stuck around, or would have just been equally bad?
I think that there's a point on why they brought in Mike Kafka as the interim head coach. Kafka has interviewed for other head coaching vacancies before. He's been a candidate around the league. I think that this is his audition whenever Jackson Dart comes back, because there's no guarantee that he's going to play against Green Bay in Week 11, considering the concussion that he suffered yesterday. You're right. They're probably not going to win any of these games. And if you don't have Jackson Dart, I think that there's a very slim chance that you do. But I think that's what's interesting with the Giants and making the move now is this maybe in audition from whenever Dart becomes healthy, that, yeah, it is a murderer's row, but they're, to your point about the 4 lead losses that they had, it kind of feels like they're putting that on Daboll's shoulders.
Yeah, and we're talking about, wasn't he a former coach of the year that first season?
Yeah,
because they started so poorly, and then he made it to the playoffs. So that was the story everyone rallied around. Did he just forget how to coach? Maybe he's not vibing with maybe the young guys aren't vibing with him. Maybe there's more than meets the eye. You know what? Think about it, and we'll break it down. We'll talk about it next. We'll take the rest of your phone calls right here on Fox Sports Radio. Things that made you go, we get to you next. Covino and Rich. Today's job search can be tough with endless online searches and applications. No phone call, no interviews, nothing but automated email responses. But wait, What if there was a different way to find a job? Well, guess what? There is.
Express Employment Pros is the staffing agency that works alongside companies to hire candidates for any job. The local Express teams, they're your advocates in the job market. And the best part, Express never charges a fee for their support. Learn more at expresspros.com. And stop waiting. Express will find you what you need out of your next job. They'll keep you updated on job openings and help you land your next role.
Choose Express Employment Professionals for your one connection to dozens of local jobs with more than 870 locations. There's always an office in your area. And the best part, once Express has your information, you'll be the first to hear about new opportunities that match your skills.
Start your search today. expresspros.com and contact your local office right now.
What's the show without a Brady mention?
I mean, TB12, he's the man. Can't deny it. But he pulled a move that I'm torn on.
This is a Pet Sematary
I
move.
feel like while we talk about it, I'm going to work out how I really feel because I've found myself going back and forth on this one because I have a dog. You have a dog. Danny, you guys got a pet?
Yeah, a cat and a dog.
Hey, yo, Derek, Mookie with Mookie. Mookie Betts, he's my dog. Hey, Derek.
Thanks, Poppy.
Hey, my dog, you my dog.
I was saying, you got a pet? I feel like you got a ferret. Do you have a
We
ferret?
talked about this. He shares a custody of a pet with his ex.
I have a
remember?
rent-a-doggy, but I would very much like to keep him around forever.
We all love our pets. If you're a pet owner, of course you love your pet. In fact, my dog is very old and unfortunately will not be around for much longer, and I know that.
Will Smith is my dog.
So I just
I
know
mean, it
that,
breaks my heart because I know
Yeah.
your dog so well.
Yeah, and it's like
And I love her.
It's a bummer. I have a 12-and-a-half-year-old French bulldog. That's the equivalent of a 100-year-old person. So I know that my wife and I say, come on, let's get one more Christmas. Like, it's an old dog.
She still plays, though. She was playing with her toys when I was over at your house. She loves life still.
She also fell off the couch and almost died.
Yeah, she fell off the couch and was
elderly related, yeah.
like an old person falling. We just had a friend, one of the kids at school, their best friend, lost their dog last week. And when you realize your dog is not going to be around forever, do you pull the Tom Brady if you have the money? I looked this up. They're saying this is like a $50,000 to $100,000 starting point.
Well, you know what I'm not buying here? If you listen closely to Isaac Lowenkron's news alert, his news update, which you never do, Rich, because you're too busy babbling yourself, he said something along the lines of Tom Brady paid $100,000 to clone his dog, but he's partners in this company, this biotech lab facility.
And he doesn't exactly have a great track record when it comes to investments, FTX crypto.
Yeah, but
Zan?
if you're a partner in this company, you really think he paid $100,000? He didn't get the company discount, or is this just good promo? If you're part of this company, you're not saying, hey, Tom, we'll do it for free. Just tell everybody about it. Tom Brady paid diddly squat to get this done, and you heard it from me. There's no way he paid $100,000.
That way, like, any pet lover's like, wait a minute, Tom Brady did what?
That's just what it costs, and they want everyone to know. If you
How can
want
I
it done,
do it?
This is how much it costs.
Well,
even Tom Brady paid. He's in the company. He paid nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, towards the end of a dog's life, the vet bills might as well add up to that. So let me ask you, would you clone your pet? Covino, you've never really been that much of a pet lover, and then you got your dog Theo. Every day when you're sitting there watching the Yankees game or Love is Blind or whatever dumb stuff you're watching, your dog's sitting there with you.
That's right.
You told me it's the first pet you've actually really appreciated.
It's my dog. Well, I do have a dog, and I guarantee
Fool
you
me
my
once.
my girlfriend would want to clone him. She loves him that much.
And don't you think that part of the enjoyment of loving animals and having a lot of pets is they all have their unique their own, personalities. Why
Right.
would you want the next pet to be so much like the last pet you had?
I get it because you love that dog so much.
Yeah,
I'm
but wouldn't it
imagining
be
maybe-
creepy if it's just kind of like your last dog?
But here's my question. Isn't there something beautiful about having a pet? And as the old saying goes, they're just a little part of your life, but you're their whole life, which is really sentimental and corny and loving when you think about it, right? Like you're their whole life, but they are just a fun little chapter of yours. Your dog lives 10, 12, 15 years. Isn't there something to be said about that's a beautiful chapter that you close the book on, and then then you get a different puppy? And, remember when we had a little poodle? Now we got a golden retriever. Now we got a French bulldog. You may have multiple pets throughout your life. To carbon copy your pet just seems like you're living in the past. Like there's a party that's like, time to move on,
And
weirdo.
where does this stop?
Yeah,
if
I
they're
made up
able
my
to
mind.
do this,
So-
are you going to clone grandma just because you
Yeah.
loved her? Like, where does this go?
And she may not come back as grandma. She'd have to live the exact life that your grandma
Dude,
lived. She'd just be a carbon copy with a different personality.
Told you I would find my way once we talked about it. Now it's like, we always say you watch a fight, you don't know who you're rooting for, then the minute the fight starts you realize who you're rooting for. I was like, that's sort of cool. The more I'm thinking about it, chapters of life, who your neighbors are, what apartment or house you lived in, what job you had, what car you drive. That would be like saying, I'm going to have the same exact car, same color, same model over and over and over and over and every time your lease is up, or every 5 to 10 years, I'm going to get the same exact car. You have to mix up life.
Sam playing some Heartbreaker because a heartbreaker for Brian Daboll. Some heartbreakers over the weekend. Wrapping up Week 10 tonight. Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, our show is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. And right now, get this. Use promo code CRSHOW. That's CRSHOW. Claim special offers at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours. So we're going to play Last One Standing during the show, your chance to win some prizes. But right now, like we always do every Monday, things that made you go,
Things that make you go,
It's like all the key players, all the excitement finally came for the Giants, and Daboll's out. Again, after his fourth road loss when leading by 10-plus points. It's like Rich today. Rich is in Texas, and you missed out on all the fun, dude. All the cupcakes we had.
What?
Yeah, man. There was hot chicks everywhere. You missed it, man.
No.
No, actually, iHeart and Strauss hooked us up with nothing but cakes and all these cupcakes. And
No.
they say thank you, Rich, but you're there in Texas.
We're eating
You and my
yours.
cupcakes.
We ate them all, man.
Ate 'em
without
all,
you.
man.
And again, I brought up my divorce only because this stuff happens in life. Of course, I feel bad. No one wants to see anyone lose or lose their job. But I finally had all the pieces together in my relationship. And then 6 months later, it was all over. Daboll finally gets all these superstars, all these pieces that he's needed for years, finally finds his quarterback. He finally found the QB of a lifetime. And then what? Grand opening, grand closing, he's gone. Dude, for all we know, they didn't vibe, even though it seemed to be okay. But they keep losing heartbreaker. Here's my theory. My theory is this. It's not that they're losing games, it's how they're losing these games. Because if you go back to his rookie season, which was 4 seasons ago, he was coach of the year. Did he just forget how to coach? Is he having a Coach Klein sort of situation where he lost his coaching mojo, he lost his playbook? No, I just think this wasn't vibing the way they wanted, the way they had hoped, and they had to make a drastic move because the way they're losing is unacceptable.
Who is that hot coach that they're going to try to snag? Because when you got some key players, like, again, Jackson Dart, you got Scatterboo, and you got Malik Neighbors, so you have offensive pieces in place. You know they're going to bolster the line. That'll be a priority. And they're not far away. For a team that's 2-8, they're not that far away. Because look at all the close losses, right? So I just wonder what coach is going to try to throw their hat, not their Wurstfest German hat, but their hat in the ring for this. Because I think it's going to be a hot job opportunity, to be honest, because I think the Giants have a pretty decent future ahead.
DB has something to say about it. What up, Dan Byer?
Guys, I've got some odds on who the next Giants head coach could be, the full-time head coach. BetOnline has said that Lane Kiffin right now is your leader at 4-1. Obviously, his relationship with Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Cliff Kingsbury, Commanders offensive coordinator, former Cardinals head coach, 5-1. Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter, 6-1. Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak at 13-2. Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley at 7-1. And you ready for this? John Gruden, 10-1.
Wow. You know what?
Chucky in New York?
I like the Kiffin story because if we've already established that that's their future and that's their quarterback, and you see how bad they suck when he's not playing, he's the dude. They're going to want someone to compliment him the best way possible, whatever makes that dude happy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am currently in New Braunfels, Texas for Wurstfest. You know who's from New Braunfels, Texas? The home of Cliff Kingsbury. So my guess is Kingsbury, and I'll say this. I respect Kingsbury even more because remember when he got fired, he was like, yeah, I'm out of here, and him and his like supermodel wife were just posting pictures from vacation, and she's like, he's fine. So I think, maybe Kingsbury gets another shot because I didn't think that was going to come. The fact that he's 5-1 DB means that, they may want to go with that offensive style maybe.
Yeah. Bill Belichick is 16-1. How about that one? But yeah, a lot of offensive. Joe Brady, the Bills offensive coordinator, and the Bills are coming off of a stinker against the Dolphins. Brady's listed at 12-1.
Damn.
Wow.
Speaking
So
of which,
odds
speaking
are
of
out.
things that made you go, you talk about odds. I wrote down the Bills Super Bowl odds in Vegas have plummeted. They were at the top tier of who's going to win the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, and now they're like on the outside looking in. Your odds-on favorite now, the Kansas City Chiefs, and number 2, the Detroit Lions. What is happening in Buffalo? Covino, I know your girlfriend is playing fantasy football for the first time, and she, in her mind, she's like, Josh Allen sucks. And you're like, no, honey, he's actually great.
It's so funny because no matter, you look like you're the inept, like, boyfriend or husband. You're like, no. He's really good. Trust me, he's really good. And then he's putting up no fantasy points, and they're doing terrible. I think who's the happiest about Daboll getting fired? The Bills, because we're not really even talking about how bad they are. How did they? Well, not how bad they are, but how did they lose to the Dolphins so bad? Let's put it that way.
Turnovers.
Yeah,
turnovers are killing the Bills right now. So at least that's something that the team can focus in on and correct.
Dude, they were shut out until the fourth quarter. They put up a week 13 points. So 30-13 against the Dolphins. I mean, and you know what? It's not even that. Yeah, they're 6-3, but they don't look solid at all. Like all season, we're waiting for them to turn it on or to see Josh Allen play like Josh Allen, and they haven't.
Come playoff time, I think the only bummer, but then again, they've lost a couple games at home this year to like teams that you thought they would crush at home. But I think where the Bills are falling out of favor is that you assume come playoff time, no one wants to go play through Buffalo. No one's playing through Buffalo because they're going to be a wild card at this rate. I mean, New England doesn't look like they're stumbling at all. So as of right now, and I know the sentiment around the league of fans is, really, shouldn't the Patriots have sucked a little more before they were good again? Like, when you do that, when you're a dynasty, you're supposed to suck for more than a couple of years before you're back. And I think most people are like, they're back already? Come on, we needed like 5 more years of Patriots suck.
And it's hard to believe how back they are, right? It's like, well, how did that happen? Great for them. That was another great game. I think Baker Mayfield maybe getting in his own way just a little bit, holding onto the ball too long, trying to make things happen, and then getting caught because the Patriots' defense is also pretty decent. So they look good, man. It was a battle, great battle. Drake May's the guy, and the takeaway is they're legit. They are legit.
Well,
and, there's so many games to speculate on, but I want to leave it for some of you, too, at 877-99 on Fox. Anything that made you go,
I got a question for you, Steve Anthony Covino.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do too much schedule watching. You don't need to play it, Sam. But looking ahead at the Patriots schedule. All right, let's go through this. They're 8-2 now, right?
Yep.
The Patriots, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go through the Patriots. The Jets, 9-2. The Bengals, without Burrow as of now, right? 10-2. The Giants, 11-2. Then they play the Bills mid-December. That's the Bills' opportunity to try to gain a game there.
If they
then they play the Ravens.
not turn over the ball, like Danny said.
And then they play the Jets again. So it's like, it could very well be, and then they play the Dolphins to finish the season. This Patriots team could go 13-4 and have a 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs, and that would not be shocking. It's wild to think the Patriots could very well be back in the AFC, but not just back like, oh, Covino, they snuck in the playoffs. Like, yo, they're like a 1 or 2 seed.
Well,
what?
The Patriots are legit, but speaking of 8-2, got to talk about the Colts too. The Colts at home. And I love the imagery of that game. I was actually watching a lot of it, but Daniel Jones with the bloody mouth. You're like, man, this was a battle. But it really was. It was a battle. And here's what got me glued on that game, Rich. Because somewhere, I don't know, at halftime or just starting the third quarter, I saw that Colin Cowherd say, or he tweeted out something along the lines of, Daniel Jones is starting to look like, well, Daniel Jones. I'm like, ooh, let me tune in. He must be having a bad game. And they were playing like ass. He threw some key interceptions. They had a few turnovers, and the Falcons were looking good. But then again, Taylor comes up big. They start vibing around him, and he starts leading the charge. Then Daniel Jones comes up with some really big plays. So you could say what you want about him, and he looked like ass in the beginning. But he came through when it mattered, and they turned that game around and won 31-25 when you thought the Falcons had that game for a minute.
Yo, bro, listen. They won, and I'm not taking anything away from you call him Dr. Jones. But Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, he led the charge. There's no question.
Bro, he's
Danny
playing like
Dimes dropped the dimes when they were necessary. It was dope to see. It really was, because he had a really bad. I thought he might be ass again. First half.
He's playing like. You know when like a college or high school running back is just outclassing the defense? Jonathan Taylor is rushing for hundreds of yards a game.
Insane.
Like he's just like if there's ever been an argument we talked about when Saquon had his year. I don't know. Can a running back be MVP? Jonathan Taylor in a year where no one's really dominating that much. Jonathan Taylor seems to be top of my list. That guy's bringing it, man.
244 yards yesterday, 3 tutties, and again, Daniel Jones had a rough beginning to the game, but pulled it together when it mattered. And they're 8-2 as well, guys. So now we're really shifting the whole focus on the Patriots, the Colts, and of course, the Chiefs are still in the mix. Buffalo, we don't know where they are. Some teams still don't have an identity. It's been we say it every year, and Spot said this earlier on our Patreon show, Rich. We say it every year, the parity of the league and how unpredictable everything is. This by far is the most ridiculous season that I remember in recent history where none of it makes sense.
Hey, Dan Byer, you're the fantasy guy, and I'm sad to say my guillotine days are over.
It's going to be an uphill climb, right? You need a big night from Dallas Goedert. Is that correct?
But the person who is right above me, Bursch, one of our great editors at Fox Sports Radio, he has Jalen Hurts. So anything Goddard does, Hurts is delivering. So I'm effed.
Screwed, yeah.
But I want to say I picked up someone in fantasy, and no one cares about other people's fantasy teams. But I want to point out a player that I really thought that we were going to see the emergence in the second half of the season of Derrick Henry. And has he not been quietly unproductive? I know that team's on the comeback. They're only a game or whatever behind Pittsburgh now, but Derrick Henry, big step backwards this year, huh?
Yeah, there's not the buzz despite the recent success of the Ravens. It hasn't been Derrick Henry taking over and dominating. He did have a couple of good games, but he started out the season relatively slow from what we're used to with Derrick Henry. Then picked it up a little bit, but yeah, it hasn't been the dominating force that you would have expect from.
Where's these
defenses have learned how to contain him a little bit too, though. It's like when a team realizes someone can't hit the curveball and they just throw him curveballs all the time. I mean, he's been in the league a long time, but they're saying if they could just stop him from moving forward and try to get him to move from side to side, they're able to contain him more. So if you could stop
just a sense,
him,
Covino, there's that sense of where's these Derrick Henry? Remember every third game, Danny G, Dan Byer, there'd be a 75-yard, Derrick Henry busted through. That doesn't happen anymore.
No, there was week 1. There was,
but that's
this is also the point of some of it is. We're watching Rodgers last night. Is he sliding down the cliff? I think the answer is yes.
Tomlin seemed to think so in his feedback.
And I think we could be seeing it with Derrick Henry. While there are flashes and opportunities, his best game of the year came in week 1 when his body was the freshest.
Yeah.
So there's there could be something to that as well. And we can't get a full assessment because Lamar was out, but yeah, I think Rich is onto something.
Wear and tear.
Derrick Henry currently 7th in the NFL in rushing yards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
he's
he's
the
the
guy who you'd have thought would have been the first.
He's the only guy averaging less than 5 yards a carry in the top 9.
Yeah, he had a 170-yard game. That also helps.
So here's what we'll do. Dwight, Mark, John, Carl, everybody hang tight. We're going to get to all your feedback and continue things that made you go, week 10 of the NFL. Any observations you made over the weekend? Maybe you went to see Predator in theaters, or maybe you saw Sydney Sweeney's Christy Martin movie. Whatever it was, we'll take your phone calls, but we got to get to our guy, Dan Byer, with the update. What up, DB?
Brian Daboll is out as the head coach of the Giants. The interim head coach for the rest of the season will be offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. Ownership with the Giants said that GM Joe Shane will remain with the team as he will lead the search for the team's next head coach. Daboll in the regular season, 20-40-1 was his overall record in the 3+ seasons, just one playoff appearance. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow back at practice today as the team opened up the 21-day practice window for him to return from his toe injury as he's been on injured reserve since week 2. He will not play in week 11 against the Steelers, according to head coach Zach Taylor. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks because of a sprained knee. That's according to ESPN. While Raiders offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson, placed on injured reserve with an ankle injury, suffered Thursday against the Broncos. It was also on Thursday night that Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton played against their AFC West rival. The next day, he underwent surgery for testicular cancer. Singleton says that they caught the cancer early. He hopes to return to action at some point this season, and his prognosis to return to full health is good, but Alex Singleton revealing today that he was diagnosed with cancer just a few weeks ago. Tenant Rob Gronkowski signing a one-day contract so he can retire as a New England Patriot, granting the wish of a friend of his who had passed away. Eagles and Packers tonight, 8:15 Eastern time to wrap up Week 10. Lakers guard Austin Reeves probable to play against Charlotte tonight. And in college basketball, Houston's the new number 1 in the AP Top 25 poll, despite getting half the first-place votes as second-ranked Purdue. Guys, back to you.
Hey, thank you, Dan.
DB, did you see they asked Tom Brady who he was rooting for yesterday, the Patriots or the Bucks?
I didn't see that.
And he said, well, one team built me a statue. Your move, Tampa.
Yeah, right. I would have hoped he would have just said Patriots. That would have been much better, right? This guy, Vrabel's the head coach,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, thank you, Dan Byer. Appreciate you. Now, Covino, I know we're going to take all these phone calls. A lot of people want to chime in with things that made you go, Plus, I have I confronted the biggest buffoon of all time, I think, like maybe an hour ago.
Really? Is this your Brock Purdy story or no?
I have a Brock Purdy story I'm going to tell you about. And it is one of the things that made me go, Plus, I know it's not Weekend Hobnob, but it's only Monday. But talk about things that made you go, I watched a show over the weekend that I think everyone needs to jump on. This show is insanely weird. So we'll talk a little entertainment, little sports, all next. CNR right here on FSR.
Can't wait.
It was a few years ago when Sean Payton took over for Nathaniel, I can't quite hack it, for the Denver Broncos. Very quickly, the combination of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson were mocked on social media, were mocked in the sports media. Within the first half of the first season, there were headlines that were saying, Sean Payton, grand opening, great closing. He's not even going to last a year. So I just think we all owe Sean Payton an apology.
I got a few people we could add to the list.
Well, you know why?
Because you know this sounds very similar to a lot of the backtracking everyone did with Dan Campbell. Because he talked the big game about his Lions. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Biting
but then
kneecaps
he showed that his gritty ways and his tough sort of attitude translated on the field. It just took some time. But didn't everyone get a nice little laugh and chuckle at his demeanor at the press conferences?
Look at this
Like,
guy.
yeah, okay, Dan.
Look at him. He's talking about biting kneecaps.
No,
What a loser.
seriously. And then it showed in the next few years. I got another one for you.
Duval, and all of a sudden the Jags look better than they did in a few years.
Dude, that's a good one. That's a good one. Like, yeah, we all laughed at their expense, but looking back, in retrospect, they were onto something. Jacob deGrom also comes to mind, too, because he left your Mets. Yeah, I really believe in what the Texas Rangers are doing. And we laughed. Everybody, even here on the show, when we were doing Sundays. We were doing Sundays here on Fox Sports Radio. We're like, yeah, you believe what the Rangers
He
are
said
doing.
he's going to the Rangers
Yeah.
for the winning culture. They win the World Series the next year.
So, yeah, he was onto something. He was right. And we said, hey, we're sorry. He was right about that. We're going to add Sean Payton to this list because even if they don't win at all, they're playoff bound, and I'd say they're a top 3 team in the NFL right now. I think it's debatable, but it's fair to say.
And the other layer is this just goes along with the narrative, Danny, that we've talked about for years on our show, right? People's lack of patience. And I get it. I ordered my son a Mookie Betts jersey. Dad, when does it get here? Oh, buddy, it was like a Wednesday. I said, I'll be here Friday. Friday? I'm like, yeah, that's like in 48 hours. What, do you want it to show up like now?
This goes back to the very famous Ronnie Chang bit that we quote often here on the show. Ronnie Chang says we live in a prime now world where we want it now, prime now. We want to order, click the button, and then hear our doorbell ring and have it on our doorstep immediately. We lost patience. Prime now. I don't want it tomorrow. I don't want it Friday. I want it now. And that's really how it is. We want instant results.
I want everyone in this room to admit this. Monty, I'm talking to you as well. Have you ever clicked on something you're buying on Amazon, and if it's not next day, you're like, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you go with a different brand. It'll
What?
be there on time.
It's not going to be here. It won't be on my doorstep within 12 hours. Psh,
I need it to be like 2 days. 2 days is my max.
Maximum, yeah.
Max. And if not, like Danny G said, I'm looking for another option.
Yeah.
You might not even need it.
I know,
before
but I
then.
want it.
I don't think anyone doubted how great Shohei Ohtani was, but there were people that thought, well, that's way too much money. And the fact that the Dodgers sort of have made that money back in a year or so.
In a year. No, I'd say that.
Anyone that doubted, like, man, that's just how could you pay that type of money? They deferred it and they already got it back. So, like, that was, a ridiculously good decision.
You know who we might someday own apology? I'm just thinking of people that got a lot of criticism and, we're still on the fence about. When Tom Brady got in the booth, he garnered tons of criticism, especially because of he pushed Olsen out. We're comparing him to Olsen. We don't know how good he's going to get, a few years from now, and we're going to look back and say, hey, remember how everyone was so hard on Tom Brady? The dude was just starting out. We don't give people time to develop. I think Jeter gets some of that criticism now, too. We just saw it in the World Series and the post games. It's like he's not a broadcaster. In a few years, he's probably going to be a lot better, and we're going to say, hey, we're kind of hard on the guy. It was his first few years doing this.
Maybe he could order a personality on Amazon.
I think Tom Brady's a good one. I think Tom Brady's so competitive that a few years from now, we're going to look back and be like, yeah, we were hard on him. I mean, he had never done it before. He's great now.
How about Nico Harrison? He traded away a fat
that's
Luka.
a good one. That's a real good one.
Wait a second.
Oh, I mean, but we don't know that story yet, right? Like,
they're playing.
Yeah,
they're playing kind of bad
Luka,
right now, but they got flagged. They got some potential, but they're not scoring good. They're not scoring a lot.
And I was going to say, I mean, obviously Luka trimmed down and got in shape, and he looks like an MVP candidate at this point.
That's what the people say.
Sinatra classic.
That's life, man. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. Iowa Sam's on the ones and twos playing some Sinatra. That's life. That's it. We got Danny G and Spot and Byer hanging out. Rich is in Texas. It's Covino and Rich. Everything at Covino and Rich. And hope you had a great weekend. Let's have a great week. It's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
Oh, let's do it.
Berlin got to see a Jonathan Taylor show.
Ball between the hash marks. High formation. Counter give to Taylor. Cuts at the 5. He's going to score. Touchdown. Walk-off. The Colts in Berlin with the walk-off touchdown by Jonathan Taylor with his third rushing touchdown today. And in overtime, the Colts send everybody in Berlin home happy. Final score, Colts 31, Falcons 25.
He had a game. That's courtesy of Colts Radio Network. That's our Tire Rack play of the day. And for over 40 years. What's up?
Is there a way to hear that call in German or no?
No, but I'll tell you, I watched a lot of that game too. You have it in German? Let's hear it. Sam, he got it.
Taylor verzögert. So, oh, da bricht er noch raus. Und jetzt hat er Speed. Und er bricht noch einen Tackle. Und er geht all the way. Nein, jetzt hat er 30, 20, 10, 5, Touchdown. Indianapolis Colts. Ich werde nicht wieder. Wieder Jonathan Taylor. Und da ist der Touchdown. Das war's.
Did I hear a Das Boot in there?
Indianapolis Colts.
Is there a 9 in there?
Zu Hause.
9?
In Deutschland. Bei Björn Werner im Wohnzimmer.
Do they broadcast over Du Hast by Rammstein the entire game? For over 40
so.
years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Now, a lot of us were watching that game, and Danny G, I know you had some observations I want to talk about, and we'll take your phone calls, 877-99 on Fox. But that was the first game in Berlin. What a show they got to experience. They were going wild there, and it was cool to see. But they're so into the kicks when it comes to football. They all wanted that to end on a field goal kick, not the actual touchdown. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
but
they don't understand our sport all the way
There's
yet.
like a noticeable crowd reaction when a field goal is kicked, and when they're because they like that side of the game more in Germany and overseas.
Yeah, that 68-yard record breaker should have been kicked there because that crowd would have been telling stories about that for 50 years.
Go for it. No, kick it.
By the way, that was
they wanted a Das Boot.
courtesy of Football Night of America. And Danny G, what was your observation?
Really quick, I know DB has something on this too. The Colts doing the Drew Hill "Tell Me What You Want" dance for their celebration. That was one of the highlights for sure of the weekend.
And
that was cool.
Beyer?
The German fans may have had the Falcons plus 5.5. That's why they were so unimpressed with that last touchdown.
Yeah, they were. I mean, I was like, yeah, they're really into the kicks. Maybe Dan Byer's right. All right, so your observations, and again, we're going to play a game called Last One Standing. We do that every Monday. But right now, wrapping up things that made you go,
You want to go to the phone calls, and then I have a Brock Purdy story and a show that you need to watch.
Let's talk to Dwight in Kentucky real quick. He's been on hold for a long time.
Okay.
What up, Dwight?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
Hey, man.
What's up?
Hey, I got an observation about Russell Wilson. But first, can I just say real quick, you know that playback y'all just played of the German announcement of the football game?
Yeah.
That was like awful, man. It was like listening to my neighbors that don't speak English argue about something, you know? But
yo, let me tell you, the worst. You might think that accent is a little grating. Covino and I were at a fight once in Vegas, and we had French fans sitting behind us. Hearing fans in French yell is worse.
It was pretty bad.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, what's the use of listening to it? It just sounded like somebody arguing, you know. But I was going about Russell Wilson. I was like, man, he fell off quick. I understand that, but it seemed like there's something behind the scenes about him because I mean, his teammates, his former teammates, it's like everybody's talking about him. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what it is? Here's the vibes I get, man. And what do I know? I never met the guy personally, but based on how other people talk about him and treat him and what we see, it's very like A-Rod almost. Like he gets in his own way. He rubs people the wrong way. He cares in a different way. And A-Rod, even in his documentary, you see how he's on a quest to just become a better person and not come across as disingenuous. There's something that feels a little phony and off about Russell Wilson. And again, based on what people say about him.
My thought is in life, Covino, relationships, work, everything. If you're kind and like you're doing all the right things on the way up, people will be there to catch it and comfort you on the way down. It feels like on the way down, no one's there to sort of love and catch Russ, which means perhaps on the way up, he rubbed people the wrong way. And that's just a reflection of who you are as a person. And I don't know Russ, so who am I to say it? But I feel like, Covino, we've seen it at work. The people that are kind to you on the way up, when something goes wrong, people are there to help them.
Yeah, so your thoughts on Week 10, and we wrap up. Covino and Rich, Fox Sports Radio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Brian Daboll was fired today as the head coach of the New York Giants after a 2-8 start to this season. He was in his fourth year in New York, went 20-40-1 with just one playoff appearance. Mike Kafka, the team's offensive coordinator, will take over on an interim basis as the team's head coach. General manager Joe Shane staying on. His ownership says he will lead the search for the new head coach. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow practiced today as the 21-day window was open for him to return from injured reserve. Suffered a toe injury in Week 2. He will not play in Week 11 against the Steelers. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a sprained knee. Raiders offensive lineman Jackson Powers-Johnson placed on injured reserve. And Commanders defensive lineman Daron Payne was suspended 1 game by the NFL for punching Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is appealing that ban. Lakers guard Austin Reeves probable tonight to face the Hornets in Charlotte. I'm Dan Beyer.
Yeah.
That's us. That's us live from
Let's
LA.
go.
And Richie Hopalong Dickey is in Texas. Tejas Dickey. And our show is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and NBA. And right now, use promo code CRSHOW to claim your special offer at DraftKings. Again, that's promo code CRSHOW at DraftKings. The crown is yours. And listen on the iHeartRadio app. Yeah, nice hat.
No, I'm asking, should I wear my Bavarian German hat because I'm in Texas for Wurstfest, or should I wear my Jameson Williams sex hat?
The Jameson Williams hat is pretty cool. Sex.
But this one's very German.
Very
what
nice.
do you think?
I like it. It looks good on you. You know what's funny is Rich is wearing his hat. That's why you got to watch our video. Covino and Rich FSR were streaming live. It doesn't even fit his giant cabeza. It like sits on his head like a little beanie. Doesn't even fit his head.
I got a Bruce Bochy-sized head. What do you want me to tell you?
You do. I heard Dan Soder talking about it. He goes, he's got such a big head, they have to pull a special hat out. When he goes to Lids, they have like one hat in a box, and they're like, here you go. The one size 8 that they have. That's Rich. With iHeartRadio's app, you can stream us wherever, whenever, 24/7 on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Just search Fox Sports Radio, make us #1 on your preset, and tell your friends about Covino and Rich. We appreciate it. Now, we still have last one standing, our game, the sweep in the nation, playing some games, getting you ready for Monday Night Football. If we have time, we'll talk burner accounts. I know you have a Brock Purdy story, Rich, but this Daboll story today is probably the biggest story. Any final thoughts on that? 24-1, there is a feeling of, that's a little unfair because now he's finally got the guys he needs. You think there's any more to this story?
I mean, 20-40-1. The first season was a really well-coached 9-7-1. Like, he made the playoffs. Everyone thought this is the guy. 11-33 over the last few seasons is the worst in the NFL other than the Titans by a half a game.
Yeah, but that 11-33 and a 20-40-1, he was playing Tommy DeVito, throughout some of that.
That is
he
the
didn't
only
have
part.
a whole lot to work with. That's why it feels unfair.
It's the only part of me, Covino, that has sympathy. Because, listen, I don't want to see a guy lose his job. I'm not a Giants fan, so I really don't care. But there is a part of me that thinks he got the raw deal because it's not like the future is bleak. This is a guy that finally got his quarterback in Jackson Dart, a guy that he clearly wanted, right? You got Scadaboo, who's a knucklehead who everyone loves. Malik Neighbors will be healthy. You thought that they might let him run it back one more time healthy and see what happens, but no, he'll never get that shot now. But that will be the hottest seat in coaching. As Dan Beyer said, is it Lane Kiffin? There's odds for Belichick, John Gruden. There's Cliff Kingsbury. So there's a list of people that are going to really want to coach at MetLife.
And, Rich, I don't want to backtrack, and you brought it up, so... Yeah. I do want to say it made me go, and Dan Beyer sent this to us, and I agree. This Jameson Williams blurred hat story is really funny because the hat says sex on it. That's what it said. I mean, I've seen worse hats, but it's kind of wild that he would wear that in a press conference. in
I
front
think it's
of
kind of
everybody.
wild that they blur it out. They made me think it was something like bad. Like, hey, that's why we're all here, everyone. Guess what your parents did.
Of, and DB could probably relate. He's a big George Michaels fan. I want your sex. And anytime sex was said, when you were a kid, that was like don't say that word around my parents. Right? So I could see how that word rubs people the wrong way at some point in their life.
At Lids, Jameson Williams says, I want your sex hat, please.
Yeah.
7 and 1/8.
Yeah, no. Size 8 for Rich. Size 7 and 1/8 for him.
It's funny you guys would say that because I remember as a kid thinking Madonna like a virgin. I'm like, how?
Dude, anytime sex was said in a song or like Do Me by Belle Biv DeVoe or Push It, Salt and Pepper, any sex-related blatant sex, I want your sex, I want to sex you up.
That Color Me Bad song. You got uncomfortable when your mom was in the car and that came on the radio.
So I agree, we're adults. Why is it blurred out? The only thing I could think of is because of that feeling it gives you when families are watching with kids and stuff. It just makes you feel
how many
weird.
times did you get caught watching a movie with like your grandparents or parents and like a scene came on and you're like, like,
well,
remember,
he's a big fan of sex, I think. My takeaway is he roots for sex because he's wearing a sex hat.
What were the other words that were on hats to choose from? Right?
Yeah.
Like, in the other, like, okay, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Cardinals, sex.
I'll take the sex one.
Yeah.
Well, Kike Hernandez had a sex hat last year, remember?
Yeah, it was like a butt snorkeler or something like that.
but hold on, by Dan Byer's thinking though, like you'll buy a Yankees hat because you're a fan. He's just a fan of sex.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, that's his team.
Yeah,
it's so funny,
sex.
man.
The NFL is so strict with. Remember when Mike Nolan, Rich will remember, like wanted to dress up on the sidelines. Jack Del Rio wore a suit. And they're like, no, coaches, you have to wear the apparel that fans can buy in their team store. So why he thought like I guess he did get away with it because he wore it. But the NFL blurring it out is not a surprise considering they're so strict with everything else that they do.
So if you missed it, Jameson Williams, wide receiver of the Lions. Sorry. 24-year-old kid, we got to keep that in perspective too. That's he's a young man, he's doing goofy things. He wore a hat that just said sex on it, and it was
like
blurred
the
out.
clouds in Lion King. Remember the subliminal Lion King in the sky?
Say.
I have a question for you. Let's play Connect the Dots. So let's say you listen to Jameson Williams' hat. You might end up with a baby. I thought the coolest story over the weekend. Danny G, you sent this to me over the weekend. I thought it was great. Mac Wilson Sr., his son took his first steps on the field at Foxborough.
Yeah, really cool.
Like, imagine that. Like, your little kid comes down the field, and all of a sudden, your baby takes their first steps, not in the living room, Covino, not at grandma's house, on the field at Foxborough.
What a bragging right for that kid.
Yeah,
right?
that's
My
pretty
first
cool.
steps, that's awesome. That's so cool.
All right. Well, I said I had a couple things I wanted to mention. Things that made me go, Other than, of course, like you said, Covino, Brian Daboll, the big story, if you want to chime in, at Covino Rich, Fox Sports Radio. I think we're all sort of torn in that he stunk it up, but we all somehow feel like he deserves one more go at it because of, like you said, Tommy DeVito sort of defines it. At one point, his best option was Tommy DeVito. Don't you think the guy deserves a little bit of a leeway?
A little more, a little bit. That's why I'm thinking maybe he didn't rub with these newer guys the way we thought.
Oh, you know what? With all those big names Dan Byer mentioned, from Lane Kiffin to Cliff Kingsbury to Gruden to Belichick, I'm not saying these young dudes should have a say, but do you think there will be some type of personality clash test, Dan Byer, if they were to interview some of these guys, bring in Dart and Scadaboo, because they are the future players of the team? You think there'll be some type of, hey, let's see how they chat it up?
I think that it has to. Like, you can't afford not to. Not that they would have the ultimate decision, but whether whether Jackson Dart's the quarterback for the next 10 or 15 years, who knows? He's going to be the quarterback next year. So there's got to be at least some sort of rapport. You wouldn't want something foreign. So they may not have a lot of power, but I think, to your point, that's something that you have to do and something that probably wasn't done years ago.
Yeah.
Agreed,
you almost have to, Covino, you'd almost have to play to, like, listen, if I know that these guys don't respond to this style of coaching, I'm not going to bring in that type of coach. It would just be counterproductive, because if Jackson Dart's clearly your guy, Scadaboo's a fan favorite, Malik Neighbors on the comeback, you're going to have to find a guy that you think could develop these guys and their personalities mesh. That's such a big part of it. So should be really interesting moving forward. Now, my two notes before we move on, Covino. There's a show that our buddies on our group chat, Covino and I have a group chat with like random friends across the country. And sometimes I'll listen to a show recommendation. Other times I ignore it, like Covino.
Yeah, but you call them random friends. I actually call them close friends. But continue.
They're my best friends. Someone said, yo, have you checked out this new Apple TV show? It has Rhea Seehorn. You guys know her as Kim Wexler from Better Call Saul.
Okay.
There's a show called Pluribus on Apple TV. And Covino, this is right up your steam pipe alley. This is the wackiest, wild show I've ever seen.
I don't like the title. Pluribus? What is that?
Like E pluribus unum?
I don't like it.
So you're telling me, is this going to be, Covino didn't watch Handmaid's Tale because he's like, they look like pilgrims.
Yeah, no interest from the get-go, from the jump.
I believe
Handmaid's Tale? I don't know about that.
Pluribus just means several or many.
I don't like it.
Like E pluribus unum means out of many one. No?
Yep.
Anybody?
Correct.
Anybody?
I see it right here.
Anybody go to school here? Anybody?
Hey, anyone?
Isn't that on like a coin? Is that on our coins or pennies?
Anyone pay attention to
On
school?
our nickels?
Like I just ate a pluribus of cupcakes.
There you go.
Before the show started.
Nope.
That is true.
That's not how you use it?
I ate a pluribus of cupcakes.
No, it works for me.
Well, tell me about it.
Well, I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but if everyone needs a new show, if you're watching Squid Game, The Challenge, if you're watching, all the other things that are on, I promise
A-Rod doc, man, on HBO Max. Watch that. It's
that
coming
James
out in parts.
the James Garfield documentary, the James Garfield show, on Netflix is good. But I'm telling you, if you need something to watch, Pluribus, I've never seen a more wild show. Let's just say there's an alien extraterrestrial layer to it, Covino, which I know you love.
Ooh.
And let's just say the whole world is sort of captivated by something except a select few. It's a very cool, like, world-ending sci-fi type of show that I just watched one episode. I'm like, what?
Nice,
so,
man.
Pluribus, Apple TV. If you don't like this, then I don't know you for 20 years.
Well, hook me up with a password, and I'll let you know.
Vince Gilligan, the guy who created Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he's behind this, and it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I'm more into the 0% that Kim Kardashian show's getting right now.
Oh, yeah. Well,
actually, I think it's up to 5%.
Yeah, it's up to 5%. You're good.
It's called All's Fair on Hulu.
Oh, I've heard it's just
is it
terrible.
the sentiment that it's so bad you have to watch?
Dude,
No, it's so bad that it's not even good. It's not even entertaining. It's just bad.
Train
Like a
wreck.
waste of your time.
But that's why it's interesting, and that's why people are tuning in.
Jeez.
But no, I'll check it. I'll take your word for it, dude. I'll check it out.
I honestly watch episode 1 tonight, and we'll chat about it tomorrow. But I have a Brock Purdy story before we get to Last One Standing. And Covino, I do want your take because this week I know we're already in football mode and baseball's in the rear view. But this is the week where we find out our manager of the year.
Baseball's in the rear view, but there's some gambling stories going on in the world of baseball.
But Cy Young, MVPs, all your baseball awards are being given out this week. So I want to chat about that in a little bit. So we got some baseball Last One Standing. But I'm in Texas, Worst Fest, Beer and Sausage Festival, the hometown of Cliff Kingsbury, my wife's hometown. And by the way, if anyone's there tonight, say hi to me. Make me look cool in front of my wife and family.
That's impossible. But go ahead.
I go to my favorite little coffee shop. I'll give it a shout out. 2 Rivers Coffee. They have a drink, Danny G. It's so good. It's like an iced vanilla coffee drink, but it's called The Dude, like a playoff of, I guess, what is it?
Don't tell him.
Big Lebowski.
There it is.
I love how you say, don't tell him, don't tell him. Like, oh, way to stump me on my own national radio show, you dunce.
Oh, Covino definitely would not say this to the barista when he ordered.
So
he'd point to it.
The dude? Yeah, I don't want the dude.
No, but I have
Give
to
me a
order, and I go,
dude.
could I please get one iced dude? So you have to order an iced dude.
Extra thick.
I'll have the Jeff Bridges one, please. That
you
one.
make it-
Yeah, thanks.
Can you make it extra creamy?
So I get my
I'll have a creamy dude, please.
I get my iced dude, which is a fantastic coffee. So shout out to this coffee shop, but here's where they lose me. This young dude that's working at the coffee shop, I wish I would have took a picture. I almost feel like going back there and creepily taking a photo. This guy looked like he could be Brock Purdy's twin. Like, like handsome but sort of a goober. Does that make sense?
Baby-faced?
Baby face.
Cherub face?
Yeah. So I go, yo, dude, how many people tell you that you look like Brock Purdy? And he's like, I'm sorry, Rock Surdy? I go, no, Brock Purdy. He's like, Say that again, sir. I go, how many people tell you look like Brock Purdy? He goes, Brock Purdy, I've never heard of him. And I go, the quarterback of the 49ers, Brock Purdy, goes, oh, no, I've never heard of him. I don't watch.
This guy thinks I'm Purdy.
Bro, am I crazy to think that a 25-year-old kid working in a coffee shop, like maybe that is the demo that doesn't know?
Wedgie. No, he should
How
know
do you
that.
not know? How do you, listen, and especially if you look like a dead ringer for this guy, you're telling me there's a 20-something-year-old guy out there that's never heard the name Brock Purdy, especially if he looks like him?
My theory is everybody's an idiot. This goes back to the famous – we always use the same examples, Danny G, Sam, everybody. We used to interview all these Maxim hotties, and I remember there was one time a girl came on our show, and she was like, yeah, my name's Amanda Winfield, and I'm from St. Louis. And I'm like, Amanda Winfield, huh? Any relation to Dave? And you think automatically that someone in her life brought up Dave Winfield.
Yo,
she's
Danny
like,
G.
I never heard of that guy.
Danny
Like,
G,
in your whole life.
Danny,
whole life, no one's ever said that.
Steam almost came out of Covino's ear. So picture this. This is when Covino and I were working. We were working with a lot of men's brands. So Covino's right.
This
it was
happened all the time.
We worked with Maxim, and she was a Maxim hometown hottie. She was a super hot black chick. And you might be like, oh, maybe that's her uncle. What is it? Rebecca Winfield. How on earth, if your last name's Winfield, have you never in your life heard
No
of
one's
Dave
ever brought
Winfield?
it up. No one. And then there was one time, and Rich remembers the story. We had Julianne Hough from Dancing with the Stars on our show. Julianne Hough.
Yeah.
And I jokingly said, any relation to Charlie Huff? And would you believe? She's like, yeah, he's a distant uncle. And I was like, no way. No way. That was the one time. But you'd be surprised how freaking dumb. This guy doesn't know Brock Purdy. Again, do we know everything about everything? Absolutely not. That's the fun of this show.
He made a hell of a vanilla dude coffee, but I can't imagine, I don't know. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but don't you feel like that's the type of guy you would never be friends with?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
And Rich, pretty awesome story, brother.
Yeah, to me, it's like, I don't know. It would be like if a guy had a big, long beard, and you're like, yo, ZZ Top or something, and be like, no, I'm sorry, who?
I'm sorry, I never heard of him. What does that mean?
Never heard. No.
What does that
sorry,
mean?
never
I don't
heard.
know.
ZZ Top, is that like you sleeping thing? Like Z-E-Z?
Yeah.
Like really sleep?
Well,
Sleeping?
you got a big. Imagine you're a big black dude with a gap in your teeth, and it's like, oh, like a Strahan. I'm sorry, never heard of Strahan. Like,
never heard. You never heard that? You never heard that. You're wearing a Giants jersey and you have a gap in your teeth. No one's ever said you look like Strahan.
Never heard of him.
Nah, never, not once. So anyway, good story, Rich. It happens all the time. I don't know why. People stink. That's really what it comes down to.
So I have a question. When you're meeting other parents at the school or, in your neighborhood, I just wanted to bring up the topic real quick of indicators that I probably won't be friends with you. One of them is if you don't know, like, a pretty common sports name. When someone goes, oh, I don't listen to any new music, that's another one where I'm like, really? You don't have to
How about
love
when
it.
someone
But
says, I don't watch TV? Or I don't own a TV. You're like, you're a weird person.
if someone says, yeah, we don't own a TV, Covino's right. If you tell me that you don't have a TV,
I'm not saying your life is supposed to revolve around that. That's not my point at all. But if you say, like, you bring up something, you're like, oh, I don't watch TV. I'm like, come here and let me kick you in the face.
like if I just said, there's a new show you got to check out, and you're like, oh, I would, but I don't own a TV.
Right. It's just that statement says a lot to me.
Trying to think of if there's any other. I remember I had a buddy, Nicole, and still do, our good pal Nicole. She's a bit of a party girl, but I remember in her single days saying that, like, if she met a guy that was like, she met a guy that I think ordered like a glass of milk at a restaurant for dinner, and she's like, I'm sorry, what? Like,
Was it
like,
Jim Harbaugh?
He's like, I don't drink alcohol, and he ordered like a glass of milk with his dinner. And she's like, yeah, this isn't gonna work.
That's the weakest.
Then he hid his peas in a napkin.
Let me know. Some people don't like sports. That's a great indicator for some people. Like, oh, maybe we're not on the same page.
But in Texas,
I'm not saying.
But opposites attract.
I'm not saying they're not good people. But Dan, I was saying, thanks for bringing up that rub. I'm in Texas, where they breathe, live, and do everything for football.
Right. You thought you were gonna, hit him with a slam dunk.
This dude has to have his head in the sand.
Yeah.
To not know who Brock Purdy is in Texas.
In Texas, Rich, you have to be as excited as Gus Johnson from Fox. I wanted to play this for you guys for a second.
All right.
All right, so let me set it up really quick. So Indiana had to come back on Saturday to beat Penn State to stay undefeated.
Oh, this is the best call ever. I love this, Danny. Great.
Omar Cooper Jr., insane toe tap in the back of the end zone. And, of course, Heisman hopeful Fernando Mendoza at quarterback. And Gus Johnson loses his mind.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown. Wow. Omar Cooper. Unbelievable. Give him the Heisman Trophy now. He caught it.
The ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
Unbelievable drive. Unbelievable touchdown pass.
That was a sick toe tap, and that reaction is hilarious. It sounds like, you know where you are. You're in the jungle, baby, and you're going to die.
You know,
That's
Cove, I
so
think
funny, dude.
The coolest part about that is the call combined with people are giving that ref tons of props because he didn't get in the way, yet his eye was on the foot. Like that referee, that was some A+ refereeing.
That was great. It was a great moment. I didn't hear that call, though. And I keep seeing the headline of Romo saying that the Patriots were DTF. Did he really say that?
Yeah, he goes, hey there, Jim. He's with Jim Nance.
Yeah.
Hey there, Jim. Just got to tell you that those Patriots are DTF. And everyone, it's like, DTF? We all watch the Jersey Shore. His DTF is, quote, hold on, I got it here. His DTF is like details, toughness, and they know how to finish.
Oh,
DTF.
that's not my DTF. So he did say it, but it's not what he meant. Okay, got it. So we'll take the rest of your feedback at Covino and Rich, at Fox Sports Radio. We didn't even talk about Donald Trump in the broadcasting booth. Here's what I'll say about that briefly.
Wait, Robo said that, Covino? Then he put on Jameson Williams' sex hat.
Oh, there he goes. I bet you that hat is hard to find right now. I bet you people are buying it off the shelves. But in Trump's defense, it was ridiculous. I was watching Red Zone, in fact, and all of a sudden my girlfriend's like, is he on Red Zone? I'm like, no, he's at the game, the Commanders, at the Lions game.
Yeah.
And they went to it, and he had to call a touchdown play. And it's not easy. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, never heard. But Rich and I know from experience, it's not the easiest thing to do. It really isn't.
There's a big play coming up.
Yeah, it was so awkward. And then you see him doing the dances and everything. It was kind of wild to see him in the booth.
They're tremendous young men.
And
did you see Amon-Ra St. Brown pay tribute to Trump? He pointed up and did the dance and everything.
Kind of cool to see, whether you are into him or not. It was interesting to see. You can't not point it out. And these are some of the things that made us go, and again, with the MLB gambling stories that are coming out, that also made you say, MLB probably wants none of this to go any further. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So stay tuned. But right now, we want you to give us a call at 877-99-on-Fox because we got to play the game that's sweeping the nation, and we want you involved. It's the most pressure-filled but the most fun game we play here. It's called Last One Standing. And if you're the last one standing, you win a Turbo Ball, our CNR on FSR, brand new Nerf football.
We do it next. Now, today's job search can be tough, Covino, with endless online searches, applications, no phone calls, no interviews, nothing but automated, boring email responses. But wait, did you know there's a different way to find a job? Guess what? Express Employment Pros is there to help. They're the staffing agency that works alongside companies to hire candidates for any job. Express could help you get a job that matches your qualifications. The local Express teams are advocates in the job market. The best part, they never charge a fee. Learn more at expresspros.com.
Stop waiting. Express will find out what you want from your job, keep you updated on job openings, and help you land your next role. Choose Express Employment Pros for your one connection to dozens of local jobs. With more than 870 locations, there's always an office in your area. And the best part, once Express has your information, you'll be the first to hear about new opportunities that match your skills. So start by finding a location at expresspros.com and contact your local office today, expresspros.com. we're talking Luka now,
Yeah.
and the story is, he's playing big. Like, this is Luka at his best.
He
slim
came
and trim.
He came in focused.
Let me give you some of these stats here that'll make you say, whoa.
And by the
5
way-
in a row, 40 points per game, making everyone around him look like a superstar. 40 points per game in comparison to Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg combined, 35.2 points per game. So that's perspective, right?
Okay.
And they're playing well. He's sort of leading the team, and that's when he's at his best. And they're saying that when LeBron gets in, now you got too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, I mean, and then, Reeves hasn't played every game, but when he's in there, he's on fire. So, like, this team has something going on.
Also, Luka has made DeAndre Ayton very good this season.
Who, by the way, was a piece that you and other Laker fans were saying, could he be that big guy they need? And will he fit in? And apparently,
the bigs love getting those passes from Luka. It's Lob City with him.
So, Covino's question is, do we even want LeBron back? And I'm just going to quote Steve Covino, the guy sitting next to me.
No. Hold on. Don't kill the messenger. I'm saying this is the question that can only be posed based on what's happening right now. And you do hear that buzz and you do hear that speculation. It's like, if they're playing this well, it's like you're messing with the chemistry all over again.
Well,
Like, let them win. Let them keep on winning.
Dare I quote you from
Yeah,
a
fine.
different circumstance?
Sure.
I'll do my best Covino voice.
Oh, boy.
This is before the World Series. Yo, bro. Dude, bro. Can I show one more dude or bro in there?
I know what this is going to be.
Bro. Yo, if I'm the Blue Jays, bro, I don't even know if you bring Bo Bichette back. Like, I mean, he might mess with the chemistry, bro.
But what he did is sort of unheard of, unprecedented. He stepped right in like he didn't miss a beat.
But you debated whether or not the Blue Jays should mess with that.
Because, dude, he hadn't played in so long, right? Not that he isn't good. No one's questioning LeBron being good. But maybe they're just better without him right now. That's all.
I think the other thing worth mentioning is Austin Reeves is also off to the best start of his career. And then throw in Jake LaRavia, who was a great offseason pickup. And now you're talking too many cooks in the kitchen. 'Cause these are guys that need the ball in their hands.
The answer may lie in between everything we're saying. Like, there's a little place in between all of our points that I think makes the most sense, which is LeBron's not done, but much like in dating, jobs, situations, you might be awesome. You might just not really be awesome for that scenario. And maybe with the current Lakers team, LeBron just doesn't fit anymore. Maybe that's the answer, because by no means is anyone saying LeBron
or is
James
he willing to take a little bit of a step back, which could be good for everybody, and let Luka really lead a little more so that he could still play like Luka and use LeBron as an option. You know what I mean?
I just don't know if he's capable of that, but I think LeBron's certainly not done. LeBron would be such an asset somewhere else. So maybe, I know the only thing that makes sense is maybe you get something for him. I don't know how that would even work at this point, but LeBron James,
LeBron would have to approve the destination.
He'd have to make it work. But
and by the way, you were shooting a messenger. You were shooting at me before. Don't think that there's not a lot of speculation of that on social media and online. That's where the buzz starts. There are a lot of people saying that. Like, maybe that's a possibility.
I get it, but LeBron's still a guy that could put up triple doubles
No
and
doubt.
put up 25 to 30 a game. So he's not done. I just wonder. It's like you could date a good-looking girl, Covino, but she just might not be right for Steve Covino.
True.
You know, it's like, so let's keep that in mind.
I think the difference this season so far from what we saw at the end of last year is the Lakers have the best bench they've had in a long time.
Yeah, that bench was meager, like Bob Seger. That
for sure. And and besides Jackson Hayes, no real big guys to mention, but you got to think about how last season ended. Luka and LeBron do play well together, but it's just the other pieces like Austin Reeves and LaRavia, as I mentioned, where you got to figure out how this all fits together.
We're talking about maybe LeBron needs to go. Imagine LeBron gets healthy, steps in on this team, and they are so dominant that they win the NBA title. LeBron retires, and it's like, can you believe people were saying we should get rid of him? Like, that could very well. Like, imagine if LeBron steps in and what's already clicking clicks even more.
This is like, it would be like Dave Roberts should be fired.
Got to fire Dave Roberts, and he wins another World Series.
Covino, this song make you uncomfortable around your mom as a kid?
Around my mom. The word sex was a naughty word. Yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm buying that hat right now.
Nice.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And Rich, are you ready?
Oh, am I ready? I was born ready. Last one standing, my favorite game. I'm going to whoop your ass. Let's go.
You have 5 seconds to battle for your sports trivia life.
Man, I don't got it.
Put your electronic devices down and pick your sports knowledge. It's CNR's Last One Standing.
Last one standing.
All right, I have 4 categories ready to go if needed. A tiebreaker. Each contestant gets 5 seconds to stay alive in the round. If you run out of time or you answer incorrectly, Iowa Sam takes you out with his buzzer.
No.
You don't want to hear that.
No, stop. No.
We keep battling until you are the last one standing. If you win 2 of the rounds, you're the top dog. Here are the contestants. 11-time winner Steve Covino.
Ah, let's go for number 12, baby.
Live from Texas, 15-time winner Rich Davis.
Let's go. Das Boot.
Rich loves wieners.
the leader in the clubhouse, Dan Byer, 35-time winner.
I found out that I wasn't here last week and there was some controversy.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm not the only complainer around here.
No integrity without you, Dan.
Rich was the culprit as usual.
Oh, wait, Rich got an advantage? That never happens. That never happens.
Bro, Dan, it was the lamest thing ever. I don't even want to tell you about it.
All right, let's go to the studio lines. We're going to see who's playing for CNR Turbo Ball. All right.
Turbo.
DB, I'll use you for this. Would you love to travel to beautiful Florence, Mississippi, Las Vegas, Nevada, Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, Boise, Idaho, or Mobile, Alabama?
Let's go to Mobile.
Mobile, that's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Let's go.
Hey, Chris, what up, man?
Hey, roll tide.
Yeah, what do you do for a living there in Alabama?
Work for a pest control company.
Very cool. All right.
Nice. Can you take Rich, please?
By the way, Spotty is the fact checker.
I hate it so much.
A lot of anxiety.
It's the worst. Give me some time.
Yeah,
some
for
grace.
Spot. So just be patient with him while he checks answers.
Full names, please.
All right, first category, the Century Club. You have 5 seconds to name an NFL player who scored 100 or more TDs in their career.
I love TDs.
28 answers on the board. 3 of the players are active. All right, Covino, you're going to be up first starting right now. Go.
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, not on the list.
What do you mean? He just scored his 100th, didn't he?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Did they not update the list?
Oh, they didn't update the list.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, he's alive. You're alive.
You're alive. Sorry.
I'm
Take
correct,
it back.
right? You made me confused.
No, I apologize.
Right.
Okay.
I have no integrity.
You blew it.
Rich.
Mr. Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, number 1, 208.
Nice. Buyer.
I'll go Randy Moss.
Randy Moss, number 4, 157.
Chris.
Marshall Falk.
Marshall Falk, number 7 with 136.
Good pull. Covino.
Chris Carter.
Chris Carter, number 8, 131.
Dickie Doolittle.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, number 2, 175.
Buyer.
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens, number 5, 156.
On a roll. Chris.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald, number 13 with 121.
Back to Covino.
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, number 12, 125.
Rich.
What about Gerald Fitzlarry? Kidding. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Doesn't work that way. Number 3, 162.
Ooh, nice.
Good pull. Buyer.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison, number 9, 128.
Boom. Chris.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie, no, not on the list.
Sorry, Chris. All right, back to Covino.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez, number 20 and 111.
Rich.
Ooh.
3, 2.
No, guys, Antonio
1.
Gates.
Number 15 with 116.
Buyer.
Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, number 10, 126.
Covino.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, number 22 with 107.
Rich.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
This is a battle.
3, 2.
Michael Irvin?
1.
Michael Irvin, not on the list.
Yeah.
All right, between Covino and Buyer.
Steve Largent.
Steve Largent, number 25 with 101.
Covino.
Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski, not on the list.
Hey, Spot.
Yeah,
Hey,
Spot here.
Do me a favor. Is Roger Craig on the list?
Roger Craig is not on the list.
Okay.
So you stink twice.
I think the only person you missed in the top 10, you missed Marcus Allen, number 6. Shame on all of you.
Are these Tecmo Bowl stats?
And Jim Brown at number 10 with 126.
I'm a Syracuse guy. I should be ashamed.
Marcus Allen listens to our show. You apologize.
Right?
Yo.
Sorry,
Danny.
Marcus.
How many high fives did he give in Tecmo Bowl? He should have been our number one answer.
Buyer wins that round. We go to the second category, domination situation. You have 5 seconds to name an NBA team that LeBron James has beat at least 30 times during his career. It's regular season stats. LeBron James beat these teams at least 30 times. There's 18 answers on the board. Chris, we're going to start with you this time, starting right now. Go.
The Wizards.
Wizards, yep, 39.
Buyer.
The Bucks.
Bucks, and 43.
Rich.
The Nets?
Nets, 39.
Covino.
I was going to say the Knicks then.
Knicks, 44.
Good call. Chris.
The Hawks.
Hawks, 47.
DB.
Pacers.
Pacers, 42.
Rich.
Hornets?
Hornets at number 1 with 50.
Covino.
Celtics.
Celtics, 34.
Chris.
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, 34 as well.
Buyer.
The Bulls.
Bulls, 35.
Rich. 3, 2, 1.
Spurs?
Spurs, not on the list.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dang it.
Covino.
When it becomes process elimination, it gets tough.
TikTok.
Suns.
Suns on the list, 30.
Dang.
Chris.
Pelicans.
Pelicans, yep, with 36.
Buyer.
Pistons.
Pistons, 42.
Covino.
76ers.
76ers with 40.
Back to Chris.
Raptors.
Raptors, 46.
Good call. Buyer.
Magic.
Magic, 41.
Covino.
Son of a.
2 left.
Oh!
2.
The Warriors.
Nope, not on the list.
Odds between Chris and Buyer. Back to you, Chris.
Was Clippers said?
There was not.
No. You say Clippers?
Not on the list.
Oh, yeah, they didn't make the top 18.
The Knicks?
Knicks were said.
Knicks were said.
Okay.
The 2 you missed were T-Wolves and Trailblazers.
Oh, wow.
And Buyer was the last one standing.
DP.
Wins.
I gotta
That's
give
his
you a slow clap.
36th win in this game.
You all battled on that, though.
It's not easy, man. It's good. It was a good win.
Yeah, there was 2 really competitive rounds right there.
Dang.
And
Yo,
we thank you there in Mobile, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you
thanks,
did a
bud.
great job, man. Thanks for playing.
Well done, guys. And by the way, I was the first winner of, is it Covino or Belichick?
Nice.
Another great game.
Another great game.
Maybe we'll bring that back one day. But thank you for playing. And again, we'll give away more prizes tomorrow. We do this all the time. Tomorrow is what? Showboy Mahomes?
No, because the Chiefs on a bye.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first time Shaq visits the show this
Nice. Shaq will be here tomorrow giving away prizes. Shaq Diesel, Whack Diesel trivia. So stick around for that.
Guys, I went to we're going to get to DB's update. I just want to let you know I went to a Dick's Sporting Good yesterday here in New Braunfels, in between San Antonio and Austin. And Danny G, that whole place is Wemby and now Fox. They got all the new Spurs stuff. And let me tell you, the locals here are really pumped about this team. And they very well should be. And a lot of the throwback Spurs stuff is popping. You're seeing a lot of people, what do they call it? Is it the there's a name for it, but the Spurs logo, Covino, with like the pink and the orange and the yellow, like that old school Spurs logo?
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, though.
There's a name for that particular throwback, but that's everywhere. So the Spurs are like, much like the Patriots, their turnaround to greatness seems like it didn't last very long. Like they didn't suck for that long.
Right.
So just a lot of cool Spurs stuff I'm seeing. All right, let's go to DB for an update. Dan Byer, what's up, man?
Fiesta throwbacks. Is that what you're looking
the
at?
Fiesta throwbacks.
I had to
Yes.
look it up, but that's what the old internet said.
But they love it. DB, there's so much Fiesta gear at the sporting goods stores, even at Target. Like they're really pumping it up.
I know they want a new arena as well, and that's people are freaking out. Like, man, now we got Victor Wembanyama, and could the team move if we don't get this arena? A lot of scuttlebutt about that, but the Spurs are a hot team for sure. Let's get to some NFL news before we wrap it up with some hoops news from tonight. Giants fired head coach Brian Daboll following the loss on Sunday to the Bears. Daboll finished his time in New York with a 20-40-1 regular season record, 1 playoff appearance. Offensive coordinator Mike Kafka will serve as the interim head coach. Ownership says that GM Joe Shane will remain on and lead the search for a new head coach. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow practicing today on a limited basis. He will not play against the Steelers in Week 11, but the team did open the 21-day practice window for Burrow to return from his toe injury. Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton revealed that he underwent surgery on Friday after being diagnosed with testicular cancer. This is interesting because Singleton says that he had a random drug test from the NFL. There were elevated levels in his system, and he said, I know I didn't do anything. Went and got checked out. Sure enough, a cancerous tumor was found. Played Thursday night against the Raiders, had surgery the next day. He hopes to return this season, says the doctors have given him and his family a great prognosis, but Alex Singleton of the Broncos revealing that today. The Raiders lost Jackson Powers-Johnson in that game against Denver. Placed on injured reserve today. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson's going to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a sprained knee. Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid is week to week with a strained hamstring. Commanders defensive lineman Deron Payne suspended for 1 game by the NFL for punching wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Lions. Payne is appealing that ban. Lakers guard Austin Reeves probable to play in tonight's game in Charlotte. Houston, the new number 1 team in the AP Top 25 men's college hoops poll, passing Purdue, who is second. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Dan, the grand champion of the day. So tough to beat the great Dan Byer. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio now. Rich, I definitely want your take on Monday Night Football. Rich is the gambling fool of the show.
Hey, do you like a snow game? Because it looks like Lambeau is popping with some flurry. So we'll talk a little Monday Night Football. But Covino, our buddy Rob, who listens in San Antonio, I think he's going to meet up with me for a beer tonight at Worst Fest. He said, when we talk football, the number 1 underrated guy this year, now some may be giving him credit, what do you think Matthew Stafford's touchdown to interception ratio is? Matthew Stafford on the Rams, who look really good.
I mean, it must be really good if you're bringing this up, so
get this.
Break it to me.
Get this, Timmy No Breaks.
All gas, no breaks.
25 tutties, 2 interceptions.
Wow, yeah, that's man, looking solid.
But I'm saying the Rams have a good record. They're why? Are we just so used to Stafford just delivering at that level?
That's probably it. We take it for granted, yeah. And he's got some good targets.
Let me leave you with a trivia question. I'll tell you the answer on the flip of it. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas. What 5-time All-Star batted .293? 366 career home runs, went to my wife's high school in New Braunfels, Texas. 366 home runs, 5-time All-Star, batted .293. And I'll give you this hint. He played for a Texas team. I'll give you the answer next, right here, Covino and Rich.
The Baltimore Ravens removed a basketball hoop, a ping pong table, cornhole boards, and a video game console. It was like Pee-wee's Playhouse in there.
Not Pac-Man.
They had a full-on playroom.
Did they get rid of Globey?
Yeah.
Cherry, no.
They removed the gaming consoles all from the locker room. It actually started after week 4. So week 4, 5, 6, they had nothing there to entertain them. And it was Harbaugh's way of, like, punishing them. And we speculated, like, is this going to work? Because it doesn't seem to be working. And that's where we turn it over to you. Yes, these are men, but they're not grown men. Keep that in mind. But you don't want to treat them like children either. Like, hey, you guys get no toys. But now we're talking, hey, things may be turning around. He had a nice win over the Bears, 30-16.
The coaching staff, including John Harbaugh, deny that they were the ones that made the decision to remove this stuff. Veteran players are saying it was their decision.
Okay.
But
fair enough. The story was that Harbaugh,
yes.
right? Well, he was part of the story, and his image is there, so we're led to believe that it's their call, the coach's call that did this. You know, what are your thoughts on that? And it's not considered punishment. I guess you could say it's consequence, or, hey, we got to get our head in the game, we got to focus. You know, or do you look at it like a punishment? And as a kid who was never punished, big shock, I don't vibe with that, man. You know, people need to take accountability and be accountable. But at the same time, you need to try everything to see if it works. What are your thoughts? Do you think you could punish grown men, well, not grown men, just men, and get positive results, or more resentment than anything else?
I don't think an old hard-ass type of vibe works with everyone, but if the veteran players that have been there, Danny G, I'm talking about the guys on the Ravens that have been to AFC championship games, guys that have seen what it's like to make a postseason run. If those guys are telling the young cats, yo, time to stop all this horse crap. Like,
well, you know what? Let me play devil's advocate. I'll be Keanu Reeves. So, because he's in devil's advocate.
Yeah, no,
don't believe in chemistry builders? Is that what you're saying? So when you're just sitting there, then what do you do? What do you do?
All right, I'll play devil's advocate.
No. All right, who are you?
I'll be Al Pacino.
Okay, fine.
You think ping pong's the answer?
You know what? I'll show you big time.
I'll show you ping pong.
I do, and I'm glad you said that, because let me take you back again.
Yeah.
When I first heard this story,
yeah,
I thought to myself, well, this isn't going to work. And it turns out that, hey, they won yesterday, and Jackson's coming back, and maybe. When I first heard this story, I'm like, you're punishing these young football players? That's not going to work. That's the opposite of what's going to work. That's counterproductive. Because when you take it back to our early days of broadcasting in the early 2000s, we had a ping pong table in the lobby of Sirius XM. Dude, nothing brought people together harder than that ping pong table. It was dudes from the hip hop channel playing dudes from the rock channel, and then the dude from the country channel would come and battle someone from the R&B channel.
I remember Covino having a battle. You know, Sway from MTV Sway.
Yeah,
of
dude,
course, world famous wake up show.
But dude, we'd be talking smack. We got to know each other. We were having fun, right? We'd sit there in the lobby, just all with one company coming together because of the ping pong table. So when they told the story of they're removing the basketball hoop, the ping pong table, the video games, I'm like, dude, you're taking away the chemistry of this team. So I'm a little torn because time has gone, and now we're entering week 9, and I'm like, maybe I was wrong. But I'm standing my ground and saying that these are things that build chemistry. I don't know how it's going to turn around, but it seems like it has, at least for a week. What are your thoughts on punishing adults, punishing kids?
It's so subjective.
Taking their fun away. I don't know. To me, these are chemistry builders.
I think it's hard to really gauge, because for everyone that doesn't like to be given tough love, some people respond to it. It's so subjective. You got 53 grown men.
That is true.
Some are going to respond to, like, me. I'm okay.
Woo! Well, she was just... That's what it sounds like to me. Covino and Rich, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Getting a new job could be so much easier with Express Employment Pros. With Express, you'll have a local connection to the job market. Get started at expresspros.com. Find a location near you. That's www.expresspros.com. Sam, what's your tie-in to the song you're playing right now?
Dan used, in his update, he used the term scuttlebutt, I believe. And since Rich is in Texas, I wanted to play Scuttlebutton by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas native Stevie Ray Vaughan. the wizard on the guitar with scuttle button.
That's like multiple tie-in. That's like dual tie-in there. Great job, Sam.
Thank you much.
I'm going to be scuttle-butting my way over to Worst Fest, which is a beer and sausage festival. And like I said, if you're in the New Braunfels, San Antonio, Austin area, and you happen to, if you think you see me, come say hi.
Aren't you
Make me
running
look
for
cool.
Grand Marshal of the Weenie Parade?
Yeah, I'm running for Grand Weenie.
Grand Weenie. Go support Rich at the Worst Fest. You posed a trivia question, and I'm dying to know the answer. Yeah, give us the stats.
All right, this is a baseball player
Okay.
that graduated in your year, Covino, went to high school 10 years before my wife. And he graduated in 94, Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. 366 career home runs, 293 career batting average, 6-time All-Star. I'll give you one more hint. Nickname the Big Puma. The answer, Lance Berkman.
Ah, dude, you didn't even give him a chance.
What?
Dude. Danny G had it.
Everybody was my witness in this studio.
Okay, I gave you a beat and I heard silence.
I didn't know you were going to blurt out the answer.
Yeah, he was like waiting to jump in. I saw it.
You know what? I really love Danny G's answer, and I was trying to think of something. I was like, there's no way Pudge Rodriguez is from New Braunfels, Texas. You know, I'm like, Josh Hamilton didn't
because
play long. His numbers weren't that high.
Off the air, we were thinking about guys who either played for the Astros or the Rangers.
Yeah.
And I told Covino, I'm like, how about a dude like Berkman? I don't know where he's from, but
he nailed it.
Yeah, I knew he hit 300 some odd home runs.
Yep.
Yeah, so 6-time All-Star, 366 home runs, 293. The Big Puma from New Braunfels, Texas.
Didn't
Lance
they also
Berkman.
call him Fat Elvis?
Yes.
Elvis.
He had a few.
Yeah.
And he had a cup of coffee as a Yankee, if you guys remember. Coffee. But yeah, he's definitely a famous Texan, famous Astro, Lance Berkman. So Covino and Rich, we're out here in L.A. Rich is in Texas. And, dude, you know what? We're going to have to save the burner account stories for tomorrow. Account stories for tomorrow. But as we get ready for Monday Night Foosball, anyone else find it weird that Tomlin sort of threw Rodgers under the bus? Didn't you think that was a weird? They're like, hey,
Rodgers though did say, "I need to play a hell of a lot better."
Yeah, but it was a weird reaction. Like, I don't know. What'd you think? Like insinuating, he played like ass. I felt weird about that. So anyway, didn't get a chance to really dive into that and things that make you go, But he did play like ass. He looked like cheeks yesterday. Now tonight, your 6-2 Eagles and your 5-2-1 Packers, as a lot of people are saying. I heard Colin saying this too. Like Packers are trying to find out who they are still at this point of the season. How do you see us wrapping up Week 10, Rich?
I mean, they are so evenly matched. I mean, Vegas sort of has this as like a pretty even matchup. I'm going to
say
go.
That's because they're home.
The Packers at home. My wife's a Packers fan. I'm in her hometown. We're probably going to go watch the game while we drink some brouhahas and have some sausage at Wurstfest. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go Packers. Just close game, field goal, maybe 6. I feel like tonight's the night where we realize, oh yeah, the Packers in the mix, because we talked about the powerhouses of the NFC, the Eagles, the Lions.
By field goal, you say, huh? The Germans at the Wurstfest will love it.
We talked about the Rams, Cove, how the Rams and Matthew Stafford are, we're sort of overlooking them. But I think let's put the Packers in that conversation. I think tonight's a statement game. I think if the Eagles win on the road in Green Bay, then all of a sudden people are going to be like, yep, the Eagles may repeat. So tonight's a game that I think the Packers, also for playoff positioning, if you want the road to the Super Bowl to go through Green Bay, you got to win tonight.
All right, we'll talk about it tomorrow, plus Shaq Diesel trivia. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, Covino and Rich.
See you in the promised land.
Later, guys.